Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. According to the Sacha Podcast, we're here with you on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with another new guest, another new business owner, or motivational speaker, or creative, whatever they're doing in their world. We love to bring them to you. And we have a special guest tonight, Anthony Dodson, and his daughter, Kaden. They are a power team, father and daughter duo. And so I'm going to bring them up shortly, and they will talk to you about what they have going on in their world. But you know what we got to do first, right? We have to like, follow, and share. Like, follow, and share all of our platforms. It's all scrolling at the bottom. And we're here with you live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And so we want to thank everybody for watching and listening to all of our shows and being a support to our platform. What you do for us and this platform helps us to do so much more for many other people who are on the platform. It is my goal to make sure that everyone gets the opportunity to be seen, to be heard. That is just my desire. And that's why I created this platform, to be able to do that so they can broaden their target audience and, so you guys can meet someone new, they can meet someone new, and just we all can be connected, right? That's what the power of connection, the power of collaboration, and the power of just doing things in a way to help others grow. It is all good in this world. So thank you so much. Once again, I am your host, Sacha Walton of the According to Sacha Podcast. And I do want to do another disclaimer. In one of my shows recently, I told you guys about my ATV accident that I had. It was back on June 10th. It was about maybe 3 weeks ago now. So I did have a concussion, speech slurred, everything was just knocked out of whack or whatever. So I'm doing a lot better. However, I still have just a little bit more sensory impairedness. So I have not been able to see Transformers yet, you guys. And then also my speech is still just a little tad bit off, but I feel more confident. I feel a lot better. Just a little bit of things that I still detect from the symptoms of a concussion. It was mild and all that, but it still had an impact from it. So they say it takes like 3 weeks for it to wear off. I think I'm in my third week, coming out of the third week. So hopefully I'll start seeing more changes soon. But I just want to do that disclaimer in case y'all hear me talk a little funny. But anyway, thank you so much for everything. I do have one other thing. I finally got my books. You guys, I told you about me being a part of this anthology called Own It. This is Your Life, Own It, and Unapologetically. And it was a project of 57 authors. So I got my book, you guys. Woo! It's a good read. We all came together. It is very inspirational, very empowering. It is the book and the journal. Y'all can see that. So I have entries in both. And we became Amazon's bestseller, you guys. So this is, like I said, it's on Amazon. Copy your book. Go to Amazon, look up Own It Anthology for the book or the journal, and you'll find all of us in here, and you will definitely not be disappointed. Okay, so I definitely wanted to show you guys that. So I am going to play one of our sponsor videos, and then we'll have Anthony Dodson and his daughter here to tell us about what they have going on in their world and their business. Thank you, guys. Stay.
Ignoring the warning signs your body is giving you? Do you sometimes feel the need to act like everything is okay and that you don't need help? Are you facing some tough physical and mental health challenges that you just don't know how to face on your own? We created the Men's Empowerment Group as a safe place where men can share their thoughts and challenges while also receiving judgment-free advice from their fellow group members. You no longer have to pretend that everything is okay. It is okay to not be okay. This free forum provides discussions related to financing, health, relationships, and other struggles that men face in their everyday lives. There are 1-hour-long weekly sessions in addition to the open forum, where you can learn from others every Monday at 7 p.m. Please check us out, www.abundancelegacy.org to register.
Saying that your energy levels have been going down the drain lately? Like you just don't have the drive or the passion to do your best anymore? Do you feel like your life is slowly falling apart and there is just nothing you can do to make the situation any better? The Real Choices, Real Life podcast is meant to serve as a lifeline for those of you who need that little extra push to get your life back on track. Our motivational speakers and lifestyle coaches are here to show you how to navigate through your most difficult days. The podcast is hosted weekly and features guests who share their own real-life difficult experiences and the real choices they made to navigate and pass these difficult times. Tune in today while on your way to work or even while cooking dinner for the family. Please check us out, abundancelegacy.org, to register.
Entrepreneurship, small business, is something that everybody would love to do, making their own money. And this is what we will be talking about on According to Sacha. Hey, good evening. Good evening. How are you?
Good, great. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Hey, Kaden, how are you? Good to see you again. I know I just saw you a few seconds ago, but welcome, both of you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So everyone, tonight I have with us Anthony Dodson and his daughter, Kaden. He is the founder of Families Forever, LLC. And he's going to tell you a little bit about what he's doing. We're going to get into some questions. You know how we do over here, you guys. So first and foremost, I'm going to ask both of them the same question because I want to hear from Kaden too. So I'm going to start with Anthony. Anthony, who is Anthony Dodson?
Anthony Dodson, first of all, is a father. Secondly, he's a serial entrepreneur and just a change agent. My goal is to help change people's situations and change people's lives for the better so they're able to do the things that they want to do in life.
Awesome. And Kaden, tell me, who are you?
Well, I am. I don't really know how to. I don't really know how to explain myself.
What's the first thing come to mind about yourself?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is like probably a leader because, well.
Let's go with the noise. Go ahead. Sorry about that. We're at Starbucks, so. Hey, go ahead.
Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind is a leader. So, well, yeah, I'm basically a leader, and I'm like help other children like learn more about financial literacy. Okay, so yeah, it's basically me, and I also keep my dad in line. He knows that.
So it's the two things about you. You're a leader and you keep your dad in line. So you're leading your dad too, huh? That's awesome. So tell me, where did the concept come up to really involve your daughter into your business and in the world that you have professionally?
Yes. I think the biggest thing for me was just building that relationship back with her because I feel like parents oftentimes sacrifice that for a job and they don't know how to incorporate their children into the decisions they're making. They're more so focused on how can I make the most money so my family doesn't struggle later down the line when it's like you're putting your family through a struggle in order to accomplish that goal that you want. And sometimes it can be so detrimental to the fact that your family doesn't ever get to see that. You know, life happens, accidents happen. You know what I'm saying? People get sick. So let's say you work 15 years to go make this life for your family, and you lose your child. You know what I'm saying? Like they will never be able to celebrate that, and you will never be able to spend that time. So me moving to Houston and seeing how it affected her and how much she turned into a crybaby, it was time for me to make a change.
So you became the crybaby. Is he telling too much, Caden?
Yes.
Yeah, he's putting you on the spot. So Caden, what is it about your dad? Now, has he been a crybaby in anything? I'm quite sure. As a serial entrepreneur, it has to be something.
Yes. He's always mad. He's either mad about something or he's like trying to rush so we can get to something on time or something. There's just always something going
There's
on.
always something, and he has you right in the midst of it. But the one great and awesome thing about it, is the fact that even with the hustle and the bustle, I know that you're still learning and you're picking up some good traits and good leadership qualities from your dad. So, how long have you been in business? And then how long has it been since Caden has been a part of it as well?
So I started my LLC on paper in 2019. I was throwing parties and living a college life, trying to provide for her because she was born, and I was trying to figure it out. And then I just recently started adding her to the business, probably right before COVID or right during COVID, um, to incorporate her in as far as us writing books and making books of financial literacy.
Awesome. So what was it about the financial literacy part that became the sole part of what you do?
So one of the things for me is actually a funny story. What ended up happening was I was paying somebody to get some inquiries off my credit report, and I paid them $300. And I didn't have bad credit. I just wanted like the inquiries going. I'm like a perfectionist, and so I looked, and then I happened to watch like him 500, and I was seeing like what he was teaching. I'm like, bro, I just paid somebody $300 to do something I could have did myself. Like this isn't complicated at all. So I end up getting my own inquiries off. But then I end up realizing me learning how to get my me being a real estate agent, I'm like a lot of my people struggle with getting real estate based off their score because 5 and 10 points can make a difference between a $200,000 house and $150,000 house. So with me learning that, I'm like, I want to help people be able to understand what credit is and what credit can do for them because those interest rates and those things really matter when I actually look and somebody broke it down like, this is the same car, but this is a 4% interest rate, this is an 8% interest rate, and it'd be like $15,000-$20,000 difference in the car. So it was me learning that stuff and really understanding and just taking a liking to it. And I'm like, hey, I want to change these situations for other people.
Yeah, that's really good. And so you have books and series like for everyone. So like adults, kids, middle school. So let's talk about the series of books that you have that you currently have.
So yeah, we started off with Finding 750. It was based off Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. So we turned 750 into an imaginary animal that was a credit score. And then we did a Leah Investment Factory, which was based off of Dave and Buster's or like a Six Flags. So like the amusement park games are investment strategies. And then Aaliyah and the Family Business was the business me and my daughter actually started together that created that for us. So we wanted to show people like what we did to start a business. And what I realized talking to my daughter and her creativity was Roblox. I didn't realize like when kids play Roblox, it's almost like The Sims. And so I know. Sorry, she eating cake pops. But yeah, it was like Roblox. And so when I realized like kids are playing Roblox, I'm like, these kids are truly doing things that adults are doing, they just don't know it. So that was a strategy behind those. But one of the things I realized was, okay, we have books for people her age, but we didn't have books for middle schoolers and high schoolers. So our goal was to be able to give those kids the same aspects and love that we're giving to the elementary school kids.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So what do you see as being like the top misconception like the kids have about finances and credit?
That they shouldn't know anything about it because there's no point because they don't have it yet. And then the other aspect is, what is credit? What does it do? Especially for the little ones, like they don't have any idea about credit at all. So it's the aspect of teaching them that. And then with the middle school and high schools, the high school is like, yo, I don't know what to do with this. I'm about to go to college. I can do this with this. Oh, well, let me get this card in. Like, so making sure they're using credit in the proper way.
Yeah, and that's really good. And then it's like just listening to you and talk about how the kids are. One of the things that I used to do with my daughter when she was younger, give her allowance or whatever like that, I would match her account. So whenever she get money for birthdays or whatever, and she would put her money into her bank account, I would match it like a 401k because I was like always wanted to teach her about savings and, help in that area of, making it sensible, something that they can identify with. Because, kids are always going to want more money as long as they're not coming out their pocket and they're getting stuff put into their account. So it was like an easy thing that we'd be able to do, was just to kind of start something. And I feel like a lot of families sometimes they don't start there. So have you come across with families as far as like the changes, working with them or talking with them, the changes they've made for the better?
So honestly, I have a funny story. I was just at a school in Houston speaking to some students on a career day. And like one of the little boys was like, hey, I don't want you, because one of the kids was like, yo, can you give me $10 because you got jewelry on? One of the kids was like, I don't want no money. Can you fix my mama's credit? And I thought that was the like most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life. Like most people talk about like what kids say about them, but I was just like, yo, like this little boy understands in the 5th grade that his mom has bad credit and she's been struggling with credit. And the only thing he wants is someone to fix her credit. Because a lot of times when I'm reading these books to these kids and I'm teaching these kids about credit, majority of these kids' parents have bad and terrible credit. You get what I'm saying? So it's not that their parents don't want to teach them about credit. It's about the fact that their parents don't know anything about it. They've had bad credit. They've been having phones and stuff in their name before they turned 18. So it's being able to bridge that gap, I think, is the most inspirational thing that I see. Is these parents are like, okay, my kid knows about this. It's time for me to make a change in my world.
Right. Now, when you're talking about credit, do you also talk about how to manage funds as well? So in that way, it's working hand in hand.
So we talk more on the investing side. I don't try to go too deep on the saving side. More so it's like make your money work for you. When you're getting money, putting money in these different places. I love talking about the stock market because that's what really grabs kids. It's like, hey, you're wearing Nike. Do you know you can own Nike? Do you know you can own Louis Vuitton? You know what I'm saying? Do you know that you can own Netflix? And teaching them those types of things is more so the strategies of building. I'm working on the saving part because this one don't know how to save.
I do. I do.
Yeah, but you want to use other people's money and never your own.
Yeah.
So
that's how I save my money, not yours.
So
sounds about right.
I'm teaching her the proper ways to do things as well.
That's funny. My daughter's the same way. I think it's a girl thing because she was always like, well, why do I have to spend my money when I have your money or somebody else's money? So, and then in a sense, I think it's worked for her because the girl keeps money in the bank even to this day, and she's 27. So
yeah,
it's like,
my daughter's the same way. She actually, I remember a couple months ago, my mom called me. She's like, your daughter's so selfish. I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? So my mom went to, I think, a nail salon or a hair salon, and my daughter had money in her pocket. And my mama asked to borrow like $10. Yeah, my mama asked to borrow $10. And my daughter had a fit to give my mama the $10 till they got home because she was like, you may not pay me back. This is my money. So she pretty much wanted interest on her money that her grandmother borrowed for 10 minutes. And it was the most hilarious thing.
I mean, she's learning early. I mean, you have her around talking about financial literacy. She's taking it a step further. She was like, look, hey, I understand about interest and compounding and stuff. So you never know what she's learning on the back end of things. So Kaden, let's talk to you for a little bit. So I heard you have a new project that you're working on.
conversations with Kay?
Oh, that. Yes, I do. I'm still
Tell me
trying
about
to.
it.
I'm still trying to I'm not really. I'm still trying to pick out the content that I want to post and the content that I don't.
You gotta tell them what content you're talking about, Kay, and they don't know. What is conversations with Kay?
Well, it's basically like, um, well, it's kind of like, I don't really know how to explain it. Hold on.
You just talked about it. What do you get on there and say, Kay?
Well, it's kind of like my dad's channel with Mr. Sixth Grade, so he'll go in the background and ask me questions, and I'll answer them from my perspective. Um, if it was financial literacy or my books, it'll be from my perspective and not my dad's.
Okay.
Basically.
So that's pretty good. So you have it from a kid's perspective. How old are you?
I'm 9. I just turned 9.
Oh, happy birthday. So yeah, so you have a nice perspective from your point of view, from a kid's point of view. So are you looking to hopefully impact other kids and help them to learn about financial literacy as well? Yeah. You know, y'all can know how to manage y'all money and millions and everything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. What else do you like to do in your downtime when you're not busy with business? What do you like to do for fun?
I like to draw.
You do.
Or so basically, I'm starting to learn because I knew how to do box braids. Because one day my mom was getting her hair done and I wanted to try it, so I got my doll and I stole a piece of the weave and I tried and I tried. So now I'm trying to do cornrows with weave. So I just practice a lot.
Okay. All right. Great. So box braids. So that means once you learn how to do them, then you'll be making your own money too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing good, Dad. You're doing good. So I know that you do have some more books coming out in your series. So what are you excited about with this new series coming out?
I think our most exciting thing right now is just being able to get to the other age groups. Because I think a lot of times it's as we get older, our parents is very influential in what we do, but we also don't give our kids enough freedom to really figure out what they want to do, figure out the things that they want to invest in and they like. It's more so what we put around them, what environments we put them in, and things like that. So with us having books on investing and us having books on how to have your own business, how to pick out college, it allows the kids to have that mindset and that open mind frame to make their own decisions. And I think that's very important because a lot of times, I feel like as parents, we think we include our kids in a lot of things when we really are making the decisions for them and not allowing them the freedom to understand. Even with her, it's when we create a Leah and the family business, yes, we have a business together, but her ultimate goal is her own hair salon. That's not something I'm going to do. You get what I'm saying? But I'm 100% supportive of it. But I also feel like if I didn't give her that creativity and that opening for her to want to do that type of stuff, I would have never known she wants her own hair salon. It would have been, Daddy, let's just focus on this business that you created and let's run with this. But it's I've opened up the door for her to be okay, these are the things I want to do. And I want to give that opportunity to kids because a lot of times as children, we're scared to tell our parents what we truly want to do because we feel like we're going to disappoint them.
Yeah, and I think that's so important too. That you are acknowledging the things that she wants to do, and the things that you're doing together with the financial part of it is actually laying that foundation, at least a part of that foundation. So in that way, when she does come into her salon, she knows how to manage her business, and the money is coming through. She knows how to manage that and invest and everything. So that's really good setup for her. So awesome, awesome, awesome. And one of the things that I think is really good too, that you're getting more into the books, more into the high schoolers, with the high schoolers and the middle schoolers, because especially with the high schoolers, because now you have NIL, with a lot of the athletes. And so these athletes going into college and the way the recruiters are embedding the NIL deals with the recruitment. And then some states is actually going into the high school athletes, so they can start, making some money off of their NIL themselves in high school. So it's really good that you're doing that, and that way you're giving them that foundation, because financial literacy is not taught in the school systems like it used to be. Although in some states they're mandating it as a part of an initiative in certain states that it has to be taught. So it does open up the door in the rooms for kids in those certain states to, be able to learn about the financial literacy. But being able to say that you're going into the schools, you're having the books, out there. So you're capturing them on all ends, schools, books, everything. And that way, you're teaching them about this. So this is wonderful. So what would be like for the audience tonight, and before we leave, what would be your top 3 tips to give those out there that's watching?
I want to speak on the NIL thing too before.
Okay, go ahead. You can do that first.
That was one of the things that we created. We actually built out a curriculum for athletes because of the fact of we thought about it. And we're like, as my team, we're like, how many of these athletes aren't making money? And how many of these athletes, if something was to happen with their scholarships or their athletic, let's say they get hurt, a lot of these athletes are lost after that because school sends them off and they teach them things that, just take exercise sports science. You just need to get any degree to play a sport. But they're not thinking about it. These kids get hurt. If they don't make it to the NBA, they're lost. It's so many athletes that are broke or lost because of athletics didn't go how they wanted it to. But these kids are also so viral on social media that, they should have an LLC of their name. They should trademark their name. They should have, books about their workout, books about their life, all of these different small things, so that way they're creating passive income with having an NIL deal. Because the NIL deal, technically, even though it's to help the children, the other aspect is these NIL deals, these companies know they can make money off these kids' names. But we're trying to teach these kids how to make money off their own name and be able to protect their assets after they make the money. But like I said, the 3 tips I would give, I always say this is my number 1 tip. Never replace time for money or gifts for memories. Sorry about that. Never replace time for money or gifts for memories. Number 2, anything can be a business. Anything can make you money. When you're doing the things that you love, money will always come. But you have to live in your purpose and you have to live in your why. And then the 3rd tip is parents. If you guys haven't fixed your credit or not trying to learn credit or financial literacy or saving aspects, please do that. Understand that by you doing that, you're creating that generational wealth that never happened. And then my last tip, I don't care what you're doing. You could work at McDonald's and flipping fries. Make a book about flipping fries and put your child's name on it. Because as bad as it sounds, things blow up when people pass away, as bad as that sounds. So if something was to ever happen to you, everybody's going to want to go buy and support something. Have something that can be passed down, that if you do something happens to you, it's a chance that can make so much money that your kids never have to worry. Because no matter what happens to me in life, and knock my head down. No matter what happens in life, my daughter always be able to make money from Amazon. Because once you put those books on Amazon, you're not paying for printing. You're not paying for people to buy it. You're putting your price on it, and you're making something from whatever book you make, whether it's $4, $5, $10, whatever your markup is on that book, but it's not costing you a dime. So make something that your kids can have no matter what happens to you. They'll always be able to have a way to make generational wealth.
Awesome, awesome. So Caden, I have a question for you too. So as we close out, and any young person or child that's watching with their parents, what would be the 1 tip that you would give them to another kid?
Don't let anybody bring you down. Like, if you're doing something, I wouldn't let somebody just bring you down from what you love, because one day we'll probably build up into your own business or your own books, or you can't just because some people like me, I like doing hair. You can like do a hair salon in your garage, or if you like doing nails, you can do nails at home. So basically, just follow your dreams and never give up.
All right. Follow your dreams and never give up. Y'all heard it here from Kaden herself and her dad, Anthony. So I definitely want you guys to go and follow. Did I put IF? I meant to put IG. I told y'all I had little my disclaimer out there, you guys. Y'all know, like I said, I had a concussion from my ATV accident. So I just realized I put IF instead of IG. Well, there's no Instagram page. So we all know there's an Instagram page. So the IG is Mr. Six Ways. And then also you can follow Kaden at Conversations with a K with Kaden. And that's her IG as well. And she'll be doing her lives and her videos and doing more things from a kid's perspective about what Mr. Six Ways, her dad, is talking about. So we're looking forward to that. But definitely go to the website. You find out all the information that they have there, and you can find all the correct social media plugs there as well. And then go support this book series. I know all of you out there, you have kids, you have high schoolers, you have middle school, you have elementary kids. Or if you don't, you have nieces and nephews and family, friends, neighbors, or whatever. Make sure you get these books to them because we want everyone to know what it is like about business credit, about financial literacy, about managing their funds, looking into investments. It's like you said, you could like as many as Nikes people be wearing or kids be buying, if you have some stock in it, at least you're making your money back. That's how I look at it. You make your money back. You're investing in what you're putting out there because $100 and some odd dollars more for a pair of Nikes or whatever. At least you're putting money into your investment by buying your own shoes. You're putting money back into that investment. So when you look at things like that, then it kind of balances it out, a little bit. So, but thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you guys for watching. What would be a word of inspiration that you would give in addition to what you've already said?
Words of inspiration. My daughter kind of said it in a sense, like chase your dreams. So the inspiration I would give anybody, and I tell kids every time I go into a school and I talk to kids, you're the narrator of your own story. No matter what people tell you, no matter how people feel, you control the narrative of your story. You control how the chapters are looked at. You control how you look at life. And so what I tell people all the time is take your negative words and turn them into positive words. If you say you feel sick, guess what? You're sick. If you say you're under the weather, you're under the weather. But if you say, hey, today I'm gonna make the best of it, you're changing the trajectory of how you feel, and mentally you're working to make yourself feel the best that you possibly can, even when you feel the worst. So always turn those negative words into positives and understand that, dreams do come true. Opportunities blow up overnight. And one of the things I tell people all the time, the moment you give up or the moment you stop was the moment that your business was supposed to take off or the moment that the opportunity was supposed to happen. But if you give up, you never know.
So true. So true. Thank you for that. And once again, thank you so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate you being here. Everybody, thank you again for watching. And on that note, I'm going to tell you to command your day and be great in everything you do. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.